Hey, what it is, what it do?
What's up?
It's your boy Truth 102, and I'm here with my big bro, Shelby.
Yeah, man, we here, man. We live and in effect, man. Trying to reconnect, back with the people again, man.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, tonight's episode, our topic will be talking about owning your you, owning
All
your
right,
you.
all right. Owning your you. Now, that's a uh, that's a really, really powerful statement, man. What we gonna be talking about on that?
Uh, what it is to own your you. We're gonna be talking about what it is to actually own your you and how to own your you.
Yeah, man. Owning your you is very, very important, man. Last week we was talking about transitioning from conditioning. It's a lot that goes into that. We really didn't have enough time to actually finish what we were talking about, which we'll continue that, as we go forward, man. And we would really love for y'all to just keep tapping in, man. Keep tuning in, man. We read y'all comments, man. We had so much feedback, so much love from the last
Yeah,
time, man. It was awesome. We
yeah,
appreciate it, man. We just want y'all to know that we love y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate the love, man. Much respect, man. We just want to be this platform, man, for positive vibes, man. We trying to do our part, man, and just creating good vibes, man. Good conversation, man. Building each other up, man. Huh,
yeah,
man.
yeah. We want to be the voice for the free thinkers, for the people who have questions but too scared to answer. So ask, so we gonna be those people. We gonna try to help those that don't really understand or not as far as understand, but see things as far as our point of view. We gonna try to expand their point of view of seeing things.
And so, we want y'all to definitely comment, man, and let us know, if something hits you, if you got, opinion about something, man, if you have some, knowledge to drop on us, man. Like I say all the time, man, my grandfather used to always teach me a man who knows he knows nothing. A man who knows he knows nothing knows everything. So we just trying to build off each other, man. We're not perfect, man, right?
Nah,
Yeah, we just trying to build off each other, right?
far from. Yeah. That's it.
So I want to start out by, just talking about who we are today. You know what I'm saying? When you think about who you are today, are you your full potential self? Or are you seeking to be your full potential self? And what does that look like to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, part of owning who you are, it actually incorporates everything that's about you. A lot of us, what we do, we want to own all the good stuff in ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't want to own the bad stuff. We want to own the jump shot. We want to own the
Hmm.
dance skills.
Yeah.
We want to own the singing voice. We want to own all of our gifts, but we don't want to own or deal with none of the things that are actually bad within us. And so, part of owning who you are is actually owning your total self.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And owning your total self actually requires the good and the bad. Because what I've come to learn is if you can't acknowledge who you are as an individual, then you can't admit it. And in those programs, there's a bunch of programs out there that understand that the first step to actually healing something, the first step to actually get into a
Is
better place,
mission.
is admission. Like when you admit there's a problem. But if
Right.
you're not aware of who you are as an individual, how would you know that there's a problem?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And so, first thing in owning who you are is actually, being aware of all of the things that are within you. I believe that a lot of times, and just help me with this, I believe that a lot of times we lose who we are through situations and oppositions in life.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about from a youngster, from a child. You know what I'm saying? I was telling a friend the other day, man. We come from a different place. In the beginning years of your life, you're not really trying to find out who you are. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to find out who you are. A matter of fact, you're much too busy trying to find out where you are.
Right.
You know, in the beginning years, you know, them younger years, them child years, you're not really trying to find. I mean, yeah, you have personalities and characteristic traits, you know, but those are just things that you are doing, you know, just responsibly. That's not, you know, you're not saying, "Oh, this is who I am. This is how I'm going to respond." Not as a child,
Right.
you know, you're just reacting to situations because you're really trying to make sure, you know, the people you're around is safe to be around, you know, that you can, you know, actually have fun and play and stuff like that. You don't really start actually trying to find out who you are, you know, until you start beginning to have a consciousness about life.
Yeah.
You know what I
Like I
mean?
said, yeah.
And, you know, a lot of times that starts when you first start figuring out what death really means.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you start asking yourself, man, who do I want to be remembered as? Right. And so you start going to a place or beginning state of who you want to be represented as, right? You start trying to figuring yourself out because you start trying to build a legacy subconsciously. You start trying to build a legacy for yourself. There's so many songs out there. Yeah, I don't wonder why these songs are out there anymore. There's so many songs out there that, you know, people say, remember me, you know, remember who I was. Right. And so you're living your life for people to remember you in a certain way. But in order to be remembered as that, you have to actually start working out who you are as an individual. But if you don't own who you are, then you will never be able to get to that place, right? So, you know, we want to own ourselves. You know, people learn how to treat you by what you say, not by what you say, but what you respond to, right? And so we actually are a reflection of the things that we acquire through life. Right, our perspective is based off of the situations and how we actually assess them. Right, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me go a little deeper into that because I want you to really understand what I'm saying. When you come up in life, you experience situations, you experience things that go on, and they're not necessarily your situation. You're looking at a person going through a situation, and first thing you'll say is, "Nah, I wouldn't have did that." That's a part of building who you are. Oh no, I wouldn't have did that like that. You're figuring out who you are as an individual, and it's not that you had seen that problem so many times before. It's just that when you do experience that situation, like you know how a father handles a situation with a mother, right? And if you have never had a father and watched them handle situations with women, that would be something new to you. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I didn't have a father growing up because my father had died before I was born. Right. You know what I mean? And so there was times when I really didn't know how to begin to start finding out who I was. Right? So I had to get who I was off of reflections of people. You get what I'm saying?
Relatable, yeah.
Right. And so, you know, I would look at the people who was around me and I would try to, you know, what I would do is I would pull the good characteristics out and I would say, nah, that part ain't for me, but I like this characteristic about this individual. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take that and I'm going to leave that part alone. And so I'm building myself off of experiences. You know, a lot of us do that. A lot of us build ourselves off experiences. And so a very important step in owning who you are, owning your you, right, is actually going back, like God told Abraham, you got to go back and tear down the idols of your father, right? Paul said, when I became a man, I put my childish ways to the side. He could have said anything else.
Yeah.
But he said, in order to become, I had to deal with.
Right.
See, a lot of us want to become without dealing with.
Yeah, without going through the process. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. There's a I mean, how did that look for you?
Me? Well, same exact. Like, just to go off what you said, like, you didn't have a father, so you started picking up different, what you say, characteristics from people who, you know, who you looked up to, or you start idolizing people or idolizing certain things, and you begin to create a character of your own instead of being and operating yourself. How that look for me, I rushed the process by not waiting on God, you know, and I began to do, and like you said, adopt and pick up characteristics, and I became something that was far from my I lost my morals,
right?
Basically, or forgot my morals. Not lost them because but I forgot my morals and I turned the deaf ear to God, and rushing the process caused
Right.
me to go through what I'm going through, or caused me to not forfeit the blessing or forfeit the purpose, but
Hmm.
pro, but more so like prolong it,
Right.
set it back, and yeah, that's how it looked for me. I mean,
I can dig that. I can dig that. So, as we talk about this, man, uh, if you, and I want everybody to answer this, man, if you're viewing this, I really want you to answer this question. If you could go back and speak to yourself, your innocent self, that you hid deep within yourself, trying to protect it from the, experiences of the world, because as we come up from a youngster, when you don't have, like me, a father figure or somebody, a support system, right? When you experience situations in life, even as a woman, when you experience those things, a piece of you take it and hide it
like vulnerable.
because you don't want to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to leave yourself exposed
Yeah.
to experience that pain again. So every time you go through a situation, you slowly but surely hide a little piece of yourself. And as you get older, you start realizing that you've hid your complete self from the world.
Right.
And now you're operating in this facade that you have painted over yourself. People in older days, they would call you a hypocrite. Hypocrite is, they used to do plays back in the days, right? And so when they would do these plays, a person would play a character. They would have a mask on, right? So they were called a hypocrite.
Yeah.
And so when you hear the word hypocrite, it's just someone saying, man, you're acting like a character right now. You're not acting who you are. You're playing somebody else, right? And so, over time, we all have done that, right? I don't think it's just one of those deals where it's just this person that does it or this person that does it. Everybody has played that part before, right? But if you could go back and ask your innocent self that still had those aspirations, that self that still had those inspirations, that self that was still, excited about the next day and wanted to, had these wild dreams, like wild imaginations, right? But they hadn't experienced that hurt, that pain that you do. If you can remember that if you could go back and have a discussion with that person, what would be the advice that you would give them? That's a good question, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's one of those. I know what I would say. I would say, never stop being who you are. Because I think that's what happens a lot, right? For me, a lot of times, I had to put who I was to the side.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be in certain situations being who I was. Because I didn't feel safe enough to be me. I didn't feel safe enough to be me. I had to actually put on this, tough guy, it wasn't that I was just no tough guy, nothing like that. I was cool, that's who I was. But my environment, talking about, like, it was tough, right? Even anytime you're in a place where you don't feel comfortable, that's a tough environment. It's not just based on the hood. It's not just based on poverty. It's not just based on, just those kind of deals. It's based on wherever you are. If you don't feel comfortable enough to be you, that's not a good environment.
Right.
So I would tell myself, never stop being you. Because a lot of times that's what we do.
That's good.
Because that's how we lose ourselves. Like, I've met people who are 30 years old and just now finding out what's their favorite color.
Yeah.
I've had somebody tell me, I didn't even know I didn't like red or blue like that. My favorite color is aqua or turquoise. I was just living in a situation where I had to project something that I really wasn't in order to protect me to a place where I can get to a comfortable state in order to become who I was. So Paul said, when I became a man, so I had gotten out of all of those proven moments. I got past all of those things where I was trying to show people who I was, and prove that I can be the best basketball player, prove that I'm the best fighter, prove that I'm the best, I'm past all that. Yeah. Now I can become, because now I can put my childish ways to the side because I have dealt with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so those are baby steps, right? That's not easy to do. I mean, I don't care who you are. Like, say the little child that was molested. Who wants to go back and have that conversation?
Yeah.
Girl or boy? Who wants to actually go back into those feelings and emotions? That child that felt abandoned, raised in an orphanage with no idea of identity. And that's not just that's just the beginning of the problem. That's just the beginning of oppositions in life. Life continues to chunk opposition. The Bible says many are the afflictions of the righteous. It's not based off of being in God and being out of God, because those who are in God are afflicted as well. As a matter of fact, you may be afflicted more in God than you were in the world. Because really, Satan ain't got time to deal with you if you already in the world.
He got you.
He got you. Yeah. He ain't worried about you. Your fight is over.
Yeah.
He want to deal with those who are actually seeking to become their best self. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so what does that conversation look like when you go and talk to yourself? Like, what's the one thing, if you can just think of anything off the top of your head, bro, what would be the one thing you would tell that you?
To push through, to hold on, don't stop fighting. I mean, everything that is, it's not always what it seems. It's bigger than, I would tell myself, that self, I mean, it's bigger than you.
Ooh.
That's what I would tell that self. It's bigger than you.
Ooh, it's bigger than you. Ooh-wee. But how would you, shoot, that's a lot, man. So you basically go, because you said you like to fight, right? You was fighting a lot. Like, you tell yourself, keep fighting. But would you tell yourself to fight different?
Yeah, different fight. Yeah. Most definitely.
Because, we fought a lot of different fights. And some of us are still fighting right now. And that's what Paul was talking about when he said, when I became a man, I put my childish ways to the side. That fight was over, right? And we talked about transitioning from conditioning, right, last week. And that is very, very, very important when it comes to owning who you are as an individual, owning your you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been trying to get on the page, man. I just haven't had any luck doing that because I want to see your comments, but I just haven't had any luck getting on that. But definitely, man, this is interesting stuff, man. And yeah, I finally found it. I can see your comments now, man. I'm on the YouTube, so if you want to come in, you're on Facebook. Please go to the YouTube, man, and post your comments, man. We want to know what would be what that conversation would look like, because
what would you ask that you?
Yeah.
Now, if you could ask that, if you could tell that you something, what would you tell that you?
And we go check your comments at the end of the show, man. We go give a little 10-minute spiel where y'all can ask questions and we'll answer them. We want to do that, man. So about 7:50, we'll do that, man, and we'll just let you ask questions and we'll try to answer them to the best of our ability on that. But owning your you, man, what does that conversation look like? A lot of us have no idea the things that one goes through. I'm talking about just as an individual in life. A lot of people have no idea of what individuals go through. Like, I don't know how your life affected you, right? And I won't know that unless you tell me. And so we want to open up the door to have this conversation with you and owning who you are. It's a lot of people right now, and I'm about to we are still on owning your you, right? But I want to go into how you go into relationships without owning your you.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we do that so much. We go into relationships expecting people to understand us when we don't even understand ourselves. That's powerful, lady.
Yeah.
That's powerful. That's really, really powerful when you think about it. Can you just give me a little bit of, because I seen your face when I said it. I want to hear what you have to say about that.
Not owning your you while entering a relationship, just relationships. That's dangerous because, or bad, I would say, in my opinion, because eventually you'll end up paying for something that you should have handled when you were alone.
Mm.
If that makes sense, like you'll bring in problems that should have been handled when you. How do I put it?
I think what you're trying to say is you'll have unrealistic expectations
Right.
because you're expecting somebody to. Because in relationships, we're actually teaching people how to love us. And that's hard to do when we first haven't figured out how
How
to
to
love
love yourself.
ourselves.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You get what I'm
I
saying?
got you.
And it's so many relationships that are tossed to and fro because of this.
Yeah.
I feel like there are so many relationships that could actually be great relationships. They're not bad people. You know, we're not in it to win it. We're not, selfish in the relationship. It's just we're still dealing with that thing that we haven't properly dealt with. And so now we're actually forcing somebody to deal with our issues, and they don't even know that they're about to deal with some of the stuff that they're about to deal with, because we don't even tell them. Nobody could tell somebody coming into a relationship, hey, man,
I messed up. I got it. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I have never seen a relationship start out like that.
Yeah.
A matter of fact, it is the practice of the beginning of a relationship to actually lie. Look, you try not to say nothing, but I'm just being real. We come into it high side. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. That's a part of playing, playing. That's how it happens. But at some point, you got to realize the maturity in yourself has to be great enough to say, well, I'm not ready to go and take that step yet.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't, there's some stuff in me that I haven't dealt with yet. And if I put this in this person's hands, I'm forcing them to deal with this. It's not like it's going to disappear when you get in a relationship. It doesn't happen like that. Insecurity won't disappear because now you have a partner. All that's going to do is have you going through somebody's phone. All that's going to do is have you following somebody and thinking, arguing all the time because they was 10 minutes late coming home from when they said they were going to come home. And so now you're insecure. Now you're starting arguments because of you haven't dealt with something in yourself, and you can't trust anybody because you're insecure.
Right.
Those things don't disappear because of relationships. Bad memories from childhood situations don't disappear because you find somebody who matches your fly, who matches your vibe. It doesn't mean that disappears.
You got that trauma.
You still got that, and we have to learn to really deal with those things. I mean, for me, it was, just having to just figure it all out.
They go back to what you said at first, the self-awareness and admission.
That's so key. It's so key, especially when dealing with you.
Yeah.
My partners on the block, I had some partners on the block. I mean, hey, I'm from Highland Hills. I'm going to be honest with you. I had some partners from the block, and some of my partners, man, they were really, really wise. And one of my partners, man, he told me, man, you can lie to me all day, but please don't lie to you.
To that ego ain't gonna do nothing but kill you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can lie to other people, but man, don't lie to yourself. If you're dealing with something, man, don't tell yourself you all right. There's too many people do that. I'm all right. You're not gonna all right yourself out of what you're going through. Yeah. You have to deal with it. It's not gonna just deal with itself. You just because you ignore it doesn't mean it's just gonna disappear and it's non-existent.
Right.
You can plant. That's the seed. That's a seed that's being planted in you. And whether you acknowledge it or not, it's going to grow.
Yeah.
And you would rather deal with that seed and uproot it while it's still small, because as we all know, the bigger a tree get, the harder it is to remove. Yeah. And so those are key things in dealing with relationships, man. Please tune in. Please tap in. Please comment, man. I want to know how you feel about that, man. Yeah. We are going to be doing your comments, man, and all that. In about 15 minutes, man, you're going to get to ask the questions that you want to ask, and we're going to, answer them to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
What you got, Doc?
I was trying to see if I could see their comments.
I can't see them. I've been trying to look at them, but I can't see them, man. I'm really trying to look at your comments, man. And I can't see them right now, man. But we trying to work that situation out, man. We didn't want to start too late, man. Cause last time we started late and we ended up a little late. So I want to just be on time, man. We want to definitely be punctual with our time. We don't want to take up your night if you're tuned in. But so yeah, in dealing with relationships, that's one of the things that we have to learn to do. And the crazy thing about it is, when owning our you, if you don't own your you, then you'll never be able to upgrade. You'll never be able to progress, not in a way that God wants us to. Right? There are people who such a lifetime trying to find their truth, their niche. You know what I'm saying? The thing that makes them who they are as an individual that, as of yet, still haven't taken ownership of their own possessions.
Yeah.
Wow. Y'all hear what I just said? There are people right now who are trying to find their truth, trying to find their identity, right? And because they haven't dealt with who they were as a child, because they haven't gotten past all of those situations that affected them in ways that they know they should have been getting some counseling, should have been getting some therapy, should have been doing something, acknowledging the problem, they have as of yet still haven't taken ownership of the things that they already possess. Yeah. You possess greatness. You possess the ability to become. You possess that power to be that example that you want to see. You possess that, but you haven't owned you. I can go to a car dealership all day and test drive cars.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to do is keep on test driving myself. At some point, I got to own me. And that's the good and the bad. I own the good and the bad. I understand that if I don't own the bad, then the bad's going to own me. It's not no way around it. Right. If you don't own your bad will own you. When you own it, you can actually subdue it. But if you don't own it, you can't subdue it. Right. Because you're going to actually ignore it. It's like a parent with a neglectful child. If that child feels neglected, it's not going to stop the child from growing. It's not going to stop the child from becoming what it's going to become. It just means you neglected a child, and when they get old enough, they will either go across your head or tell you something that was very disrespectful. And, you can't, what you going to do?
Yeah.
So you got to learn to own it. Because once you own it, then you can actually subdue it. You can deal with it. You can say, oh, no, those situations. That's when you start saying that mature stuff like, nah, that situation ain't for me. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't be in a room full of drugs. Nah, that ain't for me, Jack. I'm gonna hit it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna smoke it. I'm gonna do something. You start owning who you are as an individual. Right. Because you own your good and your bad. Now, I can't be in those kind of relationships. We can't be friends with benefits. I love hard. This gonna turn into something that you don't want it to turn into, boo-boo. Just go on, keep driving. I think that's why a lot of women blow a lot of dudes off. Yeah. Because they understand, they've come to a level of maturity in themselves, and they say, nah, bro, I can't do that. You 6 foot, six abs, you got 6-pack, you driving good, looking good. Now, because if I get involved with you and it hit me right, it's going to be hard for me to let that go.
Yeah.
So we can do something slow or whatever, but if you really want me, you're going to have to go ahead and, actually come to me on a different level. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that is such a mature thing to do when it comes to owning who you are, owning your you. What'll knock you down. Yeah. And what'll lift you up. We just want to give some good thoughts, man. We're just the conversation starters, actually. We just lighting fires in everybody's house, everybody's living room, everybody's car. We just lighting fires, man. We just igniting conversations.
Y'all see what y'all think.
Yeah, man, we want to know because this is the truth about it. This is the truth about it. Who God called you to be, until you actually own who you are, who God called you to be, you won't even have those characters. It won't even be a part of your character. That's why when we get a calling from God and we look at it, it seems so big. because we're still so young. You're 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? You inside you, something happened at 6 years old, and you haven't dealt with that. So something in you is still 6.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like owning your good can even be intimidating. Like
What?
yeah, just as well as your bad.
Can be, bruh.
Yeah.
It is intimidating.
Yeah.
It's the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Right, it's your Goliath. It's your Goliath in the Valley of Sheol. It's your biggest obstacle that you will ever encounter in life is owning who you are.
Yeah.
It's the biggest obstacle you could ever have.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
That's deep.
Man, look. This is good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all feeling, how y'all feeling out there, man. I really want to know how y'all feeling, man. This is great stuff. I really want y'all to, comment. We just want to chat it up, man, with you. Again, I've been looking for your comments and stuff, man. Of course, I haven't been able to find them. We got about 9 minutes, man, to give you a few more nuggets about owning your you, man, and then we'll go into the Q&A deal. As a matter of fact, man, I want to give a call out to one of my good friends, man, great guy, man. I wanted him to kind of comment on the deal, owning your you, man. I'm going to give him a call, man, and that way you'll have some insight from outside of the deal. Let me 1 second. Let me give him a call. Man, this dude is so insightful, so profound, man. Really good dude, man. I mean, I truly appreciate everything he does. He pours into us as individuals, man. Give him a call, man. See if he answers the phone, man. He should answer the phone, I believe.
Lafayette.
Hey, man.
Hey, brother.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. Hey, man, I got you live on the Chatterbox, man. And, this is Ivan. Ivan is my first cousin, man. Really good guy, man. He is very insightful, very enlightening, man. And I just want him to kind of go into what owning your you looks like, what helps you to begin to own who you are as an individual. Can you help us with that, man?
Wow. Okay, that's pretty much a good topic right there.
Yeah.
I would say that owning your you, it would be with understanding that you have a bad side as well as a good side. And most folks don't want to take, like the heartache or things that have happened to them that's been, bad or debilitating, mentally to them. They don't want to own that as being part of their makeup.
Right.
But they don't realize that in itself is what makes you who you are.
Yeah.
You cannot have just good. You have to have good and bad.
Right.
There'll never be a time that bad does not exist. So for all those people that think that there's going to be a time where there's candlelight dinners and nothing but all good,
right?
Well, that's impossible because you need the bad to show you what the good is.
Right.
So owning you will be taking the responsibility of understanding that, look, you rotten too.
Right.
Right. So that's how I keep that in my forefront whenever I'm dealing with people, because you're always going to have somebody that's going to judge something.
Right.
So I always look at everybody as good and evil. So that way, if they do something rotten, I'm like, dude, they ain't doing no more than what they're supposed to do.
Right. They ain't doing nothing more than what they supposed to do in a natural sense.
Indeed.
Like, you got to expect that from a natural person, right?
Indeed.
And
indeed,
like Paul said something that was very profound. Paul said, when I would do good, evil is present with me. He said, when I would do good, evil is present with me, right? And I'm talking about the Paul who wrote the second half of the Bible, over 50% of the second half of the Bible. Right, that Paul said that when I would do good. evil is present with me. So he acknowledged.
You can't get away with it.
Right. He was mature enough to acknowledge that, man, I'm not all good.
Mm-hmm.
Man, sometimes when I'm handing out money, I'd rather be chunking a fish. Sometimes, it's sometimes when I'm walking away from individuals talking, stuff to me, that I want to show them what it really looked like.
Well, cuz I appreciate you walking away.
Man,
I appreciate you walking away, man. Appreciate you.
Man, I'm glad I did too, man. But I can only walk so many times, cuz
Yeah, but a lot of people don't want to see you. Trust me, they don't want to see you.
Well, that's. I mean, I pray to God, just I don't experience those kind of deals, man. Because we all have something that we're dealing with, man, and we all have a alter ego that we got to wake up every morning and look in the mirror and tell it, hey, you won't get the best of me today. We all have that, and until we start practicing to subdue that person within ourselves, there will never be a place where we can actually grow and ferment into the person that God wants us to be.
Right. Yeah, I like the way you just said that. You say that you practice affirmation, letting your alter ego know that it won't get the best of you.
Right.
I've come to a point to where I'm like, whatever situation presents itself,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to own it and take the responsibility of it, regardless if I do the fool.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, when you strive to not do evil,
mm-hmm.
you have a tendency of making your mind full. You're being mindful of evil, and you have a tendency of doing evil. So my thing is to know that I am full of evil.
Right.
and I do things that are not, balanced in everybody else's eyesight, but I strive to be balanced with myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's key,
that's
man.
my affirmation, that I'm going to always sit calmly
mm-hmm.
upon the throne of good and evil,
mm-hmm.
making the right decisions for my life.
Right. And that's
sometimes you might need to make an evil decision. Real talk. Sometimes you might have to make an evil decision.
Man.
Because it's relative. It's relative.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta, you put in those situations, you gotta survive. You gotta make a way out.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Indeed.
Yeah, that's life, man. But I so appreciate you coming on, man, and sharing your mind with us, man, and just giving us a little more confirmation about owning who we are as individuals, because it's hard to be comfortable in your own skin, especially when you haven't dealt with all of those things that you think about and you grow aggravated, frustrated. Like those thoughts, once you're past those thoughts, when you think about them and you're actually healed from them and mature in them, they don't aggravate you anymore. They don't frustrate you anymore. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Like you're at peace with that. Yeah. And that's cool, right? So, man, I really appreciate you, man, Ivan, man, for jumping on here, man. Look, we finna get into the Q&A part of this, man. You can ask questions, man. We'll be happy to answer them. Look. Just ask whatever comes to your heart. If we don't have the answer today, we'll personally go and do the homework, right, to come and bring you the best answer that we can give you, because we don't want to sit up here and, just give you stuff and have you getting stuff. We just want to, we want to build, right? That's our intention with this, is to build and produce and play our part in producing good vibes and good conversation.
Right. Indeed.
All right, man. Well, shoot.
Thank
you, man.
I appreciate it, cuz. I appreciate it. But one more thing before I go.
Uh-huh.
The real issue with me is I've always had people telling me that I needed to learn how to deal with something.
Right.
And that gave rise to making my temper even hotter. Because I'm like, God, can't you see I'm dealing with it? That was my answer.
Right.
But it took an elder to explain something to me. He said, "Oh, you thought when they said deal that you mean put up your dukes and fight, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." No, baby, that meant somebody dealing you some cards. You need to learn to play the cards that you're dealt.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. That's good.
Because you can't stop what some people have done to you or said, but you can change the way you react to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good, man.
I say,
hey, I say, man.
Amen.
Amen, Doc. Amen. Well said, man, and we appreciate you so much, man.
All right. Thank you, cuz. I appreciate you, my brother. Y'all two do good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Till next time.
In my words, Odabo.
Later, Doc.
All right. Peace.
Yeah, man. I appreciate Ivan for getting on there, man. He dropped some good nuggets on us, man. Please tap in, man. It's Q&A time, man. We're going to allow y'all to ask questions, man. And, hey, we're going to answer them. So I'm going to go to my comment section, man, and look at what y'all got on here. Juan, I think I need to go to your personal page real quick so I can see. What's your personal page name?
My full name, Lynn Twan Palmer.
Ooh. L-I-N?
L-A-N-T-J-U.
Got you. Let me see here, man. Go in here and try to see your comments, man. Come search one talk. All right. Hey, listen, we see you on here, Lindsay and Stephanie, man. We want y'all to ask questions. Look, we just want to try to talk about some things and do some things here, man. I'm gonna share this too because man, I'm share this over here. I know it's a lot of people who I know, man, haven't been able to tap in right now because, we've been trying to get all this stuff lined out, man, and get this stuff correct. Yeah. I'm looking for your comments right now.
It's only week 2, though.
Yeah, it's only week 2, man. We'll get better and better every week, man. Owning your you this week, and then we're going to start giving y'all a little heads up of what we go share on next week, man. We go just post it through the week, man, and just so we can build y'all up, man, and let y'all, have y'all Q&A ready, so y'all won't have to get y'all questions ready when we get to the Q&A part, man. We want to just kind of be ahead of that right there. But, yeah, just ask your questions, man. If you have any, if you don't, it's cool. We ain't really tripping about it if you ain't got no questions. But ask your questions, man. What you got? Don't be shy. Please don't be shy. Just ask your questions. We'll be willing to answer it. What's the YouTube channel? The search name? It's the Chatterbox with Stephanie already got it on. Yeah. So hey, if we don't have any questions, man, we probably finna go ahead and wrap it up. Again, man, look, if you catch this later on in the week, definitely post your questions. Definitely post your comments, man. We'll be watching it all week long. We definitely want to be a blessing to you as an individual and to you as who you are, man, and try to help build off you. Let me call Calvin. Let me look on the question. Look like somebody asked a question on here. Ain't no question on here yet.
Not yet. Is it possible to own your you and still maintain a constant level of evolution?
Oh. Well, you want to take that, Twan?
I'll let you go with that.
Is it possible to own your you and still do what?
Maintain a constant level of evolution.
Evolution would inquire that you are evolving.
Constantly transitioning.
So what I'm going to say on that is it's only a certain limit that you can evolve to when you don't own who you are. It's only a certain limit. You cannot fully evolve into the person that God wants you to be if you don't own who you are in totality. You know what I mean? Not like I was saying, owning the good parts or the not so bad parts, but owning everything that you are. You will never be able, you will actually be placed in situations that you will never be able to sustain. Right. Like, I had put on a comment the other day, man. Man, this is really good. Let me find it real quick, man. This is so powerful. Have you ever been in a promising position and you were the biggest problem? Hold on, let me ask that again. Have you ever been in a promising position? Right? This position has the potential to actually catapult you into the next level of life, and you were the biggest problem. It wasn't your boss. It wasn't your co-workers. It wasn't your employees. It wasn't your teammates. It wasn't none of that. It was you. Yeah. Right? Because the truth is, you knew you were in a position that you wasn't ready for. Right. So you sabotage yourself because you prematurely accepted a position that you knew how to operate, just not how to operate in. Yeah. And did you hear what I just said? You sabotage yourself because you prematurely accepted a position that you knew how to operate, just not how to operate in. Yeah. Because your gift would take you places that your character can't keep you. Man, we have to realize that we can't cultivate the gift without exercising your character. Yeah. Or we'll find ourselves in a self-inflicted suicide. Spiritual suicide, mental suicide, emotional suicide. You place yourself in a position of discouragement. Right. Because you've evolved to a certain level, but you can't fully evolve because it's this part of you that's empty. It's this part of you that's void. Like with me, I wasn't able to become content in who I was as an individual until I actually realized that, man, I didn't really even like fighting. I'm telling you, when my partners hear that I didn't really even like fighting, they gonna say, what? Are you serious? All the fighting you did when you was young, you didn't even like it? I didn't like it. And I still don't like fighting. It's just not one of the things I like to do. Can I do it? Yes. Will I do it? Yes. But is it something that I like doing? Like I go pick up? No, it's not something I like doing. Yeah. But it had took for me to have to deal with that in order for me to actually continue evolving. Right? Some people say stuff like, I'll never change. Right? I'll always be the same. And I don't think they actually mean that. Like when I say something like that, I don't mean it in the sense of I won't grow. You know, I won't gain a better sense of morality or character about myself. I say that to say I will always be true to me. Right. I won't change that, right? That's one thing that I wouldn't suggest anybody change about yourself is being true to you. Because once you stop being true to you, you can't get mad at somebody else for lying to you. How does that work? Like, what's that look like? You know, how does that work with you? You know, and owning your you is just so pertinent to becoming what you, and you don't have to become whatever, you know, you think God wants you to be. You can become, God knows what you're going to become. He knows the thoughts you're going to have. He knows all that. We don't have to talk about that. Becoming the best you, though, that's up to you. It's not up to, you know, everybody around you and all that stuff. Your environment does play a part on it, but you should never become a product of your environment. You should be the product that changes the environment. When you drop bleach in a load of clothes, it'll never be the same. I don't care what you say, because bleach doesn't conform to color. Right. Bleach makes color conform to it. Yeah. You got to be the bleach in your community. You got to be the bleach in your environment. You got to be that change agent. You got to be the example of change that you want to see. And you can't do that if you don't deal with you. It doesn't work. It won't work. It'll never work. And we can't expect it to. This is something that we have to do. And I feel so passionate about that right there. Yeah. Because there are so many leaders in leadership positions who are halfway themselves. You're half of what you need to be in that position. You will never be the full potential of and it's not based off your knowledge. It's not based off your intellect. It's based off who you are as an individual. Because a supervisor doesn't have all the answers. A supervisor just goes and finds the answers. That's all a supervisor is. You don't know everything. But you have the ability, you have the innate nature, you have that initial, the intent to go and find the best resolution to a circumstance. That's what a supervisor is. That's what you should be over your life. Right. Finding a resolve. And once you find that resolve, then you can evolve. You can't evolve without a resolve. Might want to write that down. You can't evolve without a resolve. You got to resolve before you evolve. So many people are evolving right now because they are slowly resolving situations and circumstances in life. That's why people get paid for answers. You don't get paid for showing problems. So many people out here are presenting problems, but you don't receive a residual from seeing problems. Nobody needs to be told that, man, your leg is broke. I know my leg is broke. I need some help. Don't tell me. I'm aware that there's something wrong. I'm compromised in some way. I need a resolve. So that's what you get paid for, the resolve. And everybody has an answer to a question that nobody knows. And the way you get to yourself, the way you get to your fullest potential of who God has created you to be is finding the answer that God has given you within yourself. Because you are having taken ownership of what you already possess. I know that was kind of a long answer, but it was so pertinent to the question because I wanted people to understand that you could never evolve without first resolving. You would think you go evolve, but like I said, your gift will take you places that your character can't keep you. You'll get there, but you can't stay there. Yeah. You'll be the ministry leader, but you sleeping with all the women in it.
You be ineffective.
You not just ineffective, you'll be destructive, explosive. You will turn it up, and it's just the way it's gonna happen because you wasn't ready. I pray that I don't ever get in a position that I'm not ready for. Right. That's why I try to prepare as much as I can. And I mean, that's just me. That's just who I am. So look, owning your you is very important. Let me see if we have any more questions, man. We finna end this thing, man, but I want to see if we have any more questions in this deal, man. I don't see any more questions in the deal. So, yeah, we finna go on and wrap it up, man. Look, I really appreciate all y'all tuning in, man. Me and my boy, Chwan, man. Last week he told me he wanted y'all to call him something else, man. What you want him to call you, fam?
True 102, man.
True 102. Not Live 105, but True 102. You hear me?
Yeah, man. The real understanding, man. The 102 stands for the Trinity. Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, man. Covered by the best. So... it's been another episode with the Chatters Box, you know what I'm saying? Me and my big bro, Shelvin. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like, man. Share, and subscribe. And make sure y'all leave y'all comments so we can get back at y'all on the next one.
Yeah, man. I see my T. Jones on here, too, man. There's a lot of people on here, man. Listen, we gonna start doing this. We gonna start doing a 5 for 10, right? We're gonna give $10 to the first 5 questions. We don't care who asked the first 5 questions. We're gonna just give $10 to the first 5 questions. So if we get your question, and hey, we're gonna answer your question, but we're gonna pay you for us to answer your question.
We're gonna pay you to send a question in.
Right?
Who get paid to send a question, to ask the question?
And I know y'all probably saying, man, they just trying to get us to ask questions. Look, I'm trying to buy you lunch and breakfast too. I buy you lunch and breakfast. I know $10 won't help too much for dinner, but I mean, you can go to Jack in the Box, get you a nice little Whopper or whatever. Yeah. I mean, a Burger King for a Whopper, whatever you want to do with the $10, that's on you. But we're gonna give $10 to the first 5 questions on the next Q&A. Is that cool, man? Just please tap in, man. We'll be sending out little deals through the week, man. Let you know what we're going to be talking about next week. We love y'all, man. Twan, you got anything you want to close out with?
I'll let you close it out, bro.
All right, man. I am asking 5 questions next week. Hey, if you be the first one to ask 5 questions next week, you have $50 in your pocket. I guarantee it, man. Just when you send your questions next week, man, make sure you send your Cash App, your Zelle, or your Venmo, whatever that may be. We love y'all, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Till next time, man, please, please, please share, man, like, man. We really want y'all to subscribe and like and share with us, man, because we want to continue to grow this platform. I believe that this is going to be a pivotal point, not just in our circle, but in the circles of society and even the nation. Listen, y'all have a good week, man. It's the Chatterbox, man, where we chat it up, man. Hey, we'll see y'all next time. One.